The book came out, Quiet Heroes, Secrets from My Father's Past, when my father was alive. And I tell everybody it was the greatest moment of my life to be able to call my dad and say, hey, guess what's on the New York Times bestseller list? It doesn't get any better for a daughter and a father to share that incredible bond. And also, my father's story is not just about my dad. What it really exemplifies is what it is to be an American, because he was rescued by American troops. And so when I called my dad and said, congrats, Dad, his first reaction was, no, congrats to the American troops that saved me, because he wanted them to be honored. And by sharing his story, he's honoring so many brave men and women who've come before him and continue to come after him. My father definitely had a lot of post-traumatic stress, and a lot of the people, especially from World War II, they didn't know what post-traumatic stress was back then. They never had a name for it. They didn't talk about it. And my dad, because his experiences were so traumatic and so dramatic, so many men in his unit were slaughtered, and he literally decided to shut it off, his time as a prisoner of war. He literally blocked it out and left Poland and came over to America, became American citizen, left Ryszard Kozabutsky, freedom fighter, behind, and became Richard Cosby, American citizen and father. And it wasn't until I discovered an old suitcase where I found a bloody red and white fighting Polish armband and a card with code names on it, and I saw this name, Ryszard Kozabutsky. And that was the moment that I realized my father was a prisoner of war, and I decided to reach out to him and get this story. And I'm so glad, because since the book has come out, I've been able to share this story with so many people, young and old, and it's in a lot of schools as required reading. It's been educating a lot of young people about the sacrifices that our warriors make, and not just our warriors, but also their families, because I didn't have a very good relationship. I barely had any relationship with my father for decades. And that happens to a lot of people who are frontline in battle. I mean, imagine what my father went through as a prisoner of war. And when my father escaped, he was 90 pounds and 6 feet tall. And my father, obviously went through so much psychological and physical trauma. I could see the scars all over his body. And I hope by sharing this story, doing it here at Dog Tag Bakery, doing it for Valor Run to honor these incredible people, also Morph Moms, we're doing a great event here. This is to make sure that we bring attention to our warfighters, and especially our goal here is to bring attention to the female fighters, because I learned through the book that I was named after my father's cousin Rita, because in World War II it was all hands on deck. All the citizens bandied together, especially in Poland, and formed the uprising. And my dad had a cousin Rita who apparently was a pretty good sharpshooter, and I was named after cousin Rita. So I think it's fitting that I'm here to honor this great group and honor these incredible heroes who've done so much for all of us, not just in America, but in lands thousands of miles away like Poland, where my father was.